Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from the 8th verse of the 15th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This chapter is entitled The Pandavas Retired Timely. The events leading to the Pandavas retiring from their kingly duties is being described in this chapter. Primarily, it is because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, wound up his pastimes on this earth planet and returned to his own personal abode. And that was the reason why the Pandavas decided also to retire from their royal duties, and they handed over charge of ruling this earth planet to their grandson Parikshit, and they themselves went on Mahaprasthana that we described in this chapter. So here the description so far has been how Yudhishthira is curious to know, anxious to know, not just curious, he is anxious to know why Arjuna has returned from Dwaraka and is very much aggrieved. And Yudhishthira asks so many questions as to the cause for Arjuna's grief. And when Arjuna did not reply, Yudhishthira guessed that actually it is only because Krishna has left the planet and Arjuna is feeling the intense separation from his dearmost friend. So Arjuna is now recollecting the different incidents in the presence of the Supreme Lord, how Arjuna had a very nice wonderful companionship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his dearmost friend. Arjuna had a wonderful friendship with Krishna. So he is describing to Yudhishthira in this 8th verse, Yat sannidhav aham u khandavam agnayedam Indram cha samaraganam tarasa vijitya labdha sabha mayakritadbhuta shilpamaya digbhyo haran nrupatayo balimadvarete. The meaning of this verse is, because he was near me. This is Arjuna referring to Krishna. Because Krishna was near Arjuna, it was possible for me to conquer with great dexterity the powerful king of heaven Indradeva along with his demigod associates, and thus enable the fire god to devastate the Khandava forest. And only by his grace was the demon named Maya saved from the blazing Khandava forest, and thus we could build our assembly house of wonderful architectural workmanship where all the princes assembled during the performance of Rajasuya Yajna and paid you tributes. This is an incident from the Mahabharata that is being cited by Arjuna. In Mahabharata, a lot of details are given, but Bhagavatam is summarizing those incidents to teach us a very important principle of devotional service. Srila Prabhupada very nicely elaborates and brings out the important principle of devotional service at the end of this purport. So the purport by Srila Prabhupada, which explains this particular verse very nicely. The demon Maya Danava was an inhabitant of the forest Khandava. And when the Khandava forest was set on fire, he asked protection from Arjuna. Even though he is a powerful demon, when there was a danger to his life, because the very place of his residence was completely ablaze with fire, and then this Maya Danava, he asked for protection from Arjuna. And what did Arjuna do? Arjuna is such a wonderful devotee that when somebody asks him for help, he never refuses. That is the quality of a devotee. So Arjuna saved this Maya Danava's life, and as a result of his life being saved, this Maya Danava felt obliged to Arjuna. So what did Maya Danava do? He reciprocated by building a wonderful assembly house for the Pandavas. Now this assembly house attracted the extraordinary attention of all state princes. This Maya Danava was expert in architectural science, so he could build beautiful buildings. So under the direction of Krishna, Maya Danava actually built a very nice assembly house for the Pandavas, and this was such a nice assembly house, it attracted the extraordinary attention of all state princes. They felt the supernatural power of the Pandavas, and thus, without grudge, all of them submitted and paid tributes to the emperor. This was during the Rajasuya sacrifice that Yudhishthira actually performed after this assembly house was built. Now Yudhishthira himself is a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So he was not interested in performing his Rajasuya Yajna for his own sake. Generally a king declares himself as the emperor of the world, and he offers a challenge to those who do not want to be subordinate to him, that they fight and defeat the emperor or the would-be emperor if they do not want to be under his subordination. So Yudhishthira was not very much interested in himself becoming the emperor. It was actually Krishna's desire that a pure devotee rule the world and lead people on the path of devotional service to achieve the ultimate liberation. Now, Yudhishthira himself, he wanted to glorify Krishna. And in order to glorify Krishna, he wanted an assembly of all the state princes. And when they assembled, in that assembly, Yudhishthira worshipped Krishna as the foremost among all the personalities in the entire creation. Because Yudhishthira's yajna was attended to by even the devatas. So in the presence of all great kings and devatas and saintly persons, in that assembly, Yudhishthira wanted to glorify Krishna. So the Mahabharata describes this in great detail. So many incidents took place in that Rajasuya Yajna. But one important thing that happened is that this Mayadanava, because of being saved by Arjuna, he constructed this wonderful assembly house which was used to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. Then Srila Prabhupada says, the demons possess wonderful and supernatural powers to create material wonders. But they are always disturbing elements to the society. That is a demoniac nature. There are people in this world, dvabhuta sarge lokesmin, daiva asura evacha. In the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains there are two kinds of created beings, some with divine qualities and some with demoniac qualities. Daiva, Asura. So these demons, they have some supernatural powers to create material wonders, but they are disturbing elements because of their demoniac nature. That's what they call demons. The modern demons are the harmful material scientists. In our age also now there are demons. Who are the demons? The harmful material scientists. Why? Because they create some material wonders for disturbance in the society. And Prabhupada gives the example here. For example, the creation of nuclear weapons has caused some panic in human society. So much of nuclear weapons are there all over the world in different countries. So, the intelligence of a demoniac natured person is always used for destructive purpose. And the intelligence of a divine natured person is used for constructive purposes. So there is a difference between the divine nature and the demonic nature. Therefore, Prabhupada says they create disturbance in society. Always they are disturbing the people in general. So Maya was also a materialist like that, but he knew the art of creating wonderful things. And yet, when Lord Krishna wanted to kill him, so Mayadanava was chased both by the fire and by the wheel of Lord Krishna. Krishna wanted to eliminate this demon by using Sudarshan Chakra, and this Mayadanava was also in danger because of the fire in the Khandava forest, which was his place of residence. So he was chased both by the fire and the Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Krishna. Then what did Mayadanava do? He simply took shelter of Arjuna. Arjuna, who is a great devotee. Now when Arjuna saw that Mayadanava's life is in danger, Arjuna saved him from the wrath of the fire of Lord Sri Krishna. So it is described, devotees are more merciful than the Lord. So, by the mercy of a devotee, even the Lord will pardon someone who is an offender. So, when somebody is given shelter by a devotee, they are actually blessed by the Lord. They are actually benedicted by the Lord. So, therefore, it is more important to please the devotee of the Lord, the pure devotee of the Lord, even more than trying to please the Lord. And His Lord is automatically pleased when we please His pure devotee. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasad. So this is the moral to be learned from this incident. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.